them to confirm step by step by step. So that is super important. From the cold calling, from starting on the phone if you are making calls, don't talk, ask. We have to keep asking the prospect what it is that's going to make them comfortable. That's the reason for identifying all of these things.
There are other features.
I'm listening. Go ahead. We're taping everything.
We're going features now?
We're a mixture of the two. I'll make the breakup for you. Can you go back to go over the helium and cryogen again?
Right.
The expense goes way up because they have to be replaced and it has to work 24
buying
hours.
up all of the helium and the cryogen now.
Right.
The recumbent MRIs have to happen. Ours doesn't. Okay. So let's say you have a recumbent MRI. You can't get the helium. You can turn on the magnet. Okay. And it's very costly. Okay. Ours doesn't need it. Second is that because our magnet is made out of steel, okay, so it doesn't quench, means it doesn't break. Every other MRI, sooner or later, will break and they have to replace it. That's downtime. You're losing revenue, right? So how can you close your eyes of the 21st century development, what we have done? Look at the list of features and benefits that we have. You as a medical doctor, don't you want to see a patient in multi-positioning? You know how the spine works.
Yeah.
When you bend down, it's a different exam. When you straighten out, when you pick something up, only we can show you the difference. No other MRI can. So, doctor, where are we at fault?
Right. See, that's the confirmation question. You have to go with the closing question when you finish every feature. Because if he was going to give you an argument, here's where it would come up. If he agrees with you, you can now assume he believes that to be true, and it's just another building block in the presentation. But if you just talk, and you're not doing it as a question-answer situation, you have no way of telling whether or not he agrees with you. That puts you in a negative closing position.
When computers came into the market, the salesman had the method of selling by asking, would you like to have a computer that does this? Would you like to have an MRI that does flexion, extension, weight bearing? Would you like to have an MRI that can scan a patient of 500 pounds? Would you like to have an MRI that is noise-free,
right,
etc.?
Right.
All those questions come back with a yes.
Right.
And once he yes, there is no more no's.
That's it. And that is really the point for locking people up in a close. There's no two ways about it. You will be successful if you get every answer and everything clear. Those clients can move very, very quickly. People see their financial broker and write a check at the meeting. Does it happen all the time? Absolutely. So it's not that they can't move into an investment if they choose to. It's that if we leave the door open on anything that we haven't clarified for them, they will always go to that fact as being the thing that's blocking you. Now, what if you can never figure out what that thing is? Let's say you go through the whole presentation, you leave with no additional confirmations. Now you leave thinking, oh, this presentation went great, and now there are 2 on a lead sheet because you did such a great job pitching them. That's not what a 2 on a lead sheet is, or a 1 on a lead sheet. A 2 or a 1 on a lead sheet is somebody who worked right through the process, and you now have the next thing set up for them to be doing for you. That's a 2 on a lead sheet.
On a $2 million sale, salesman has to expect our competition was there.
Sure.
And they made the presentation. So you have to say, look, there's a difference in the 2 technologies. One has a fistful of benefits. The other one has only a picture.
Yeah.
We give you the picture, we give you the benefits, and we give you the pathology that the other system cannot do.
I don't know how a doctor really could argue about not one. I mean, really, I'm sure there will be lots and lots of them because everything happens in marketing campaigns. I can't see doctors, like you're saying, Sal, what's the argument at the end? Really, what is the ultimate argument at the very end of the situation?
The argument is...
I think that the fundamental issue is that the competition addresses the product as an MRI, as an MRI, as an MRI,
Right.
and they're very careful not to distinguish between our MRI and their MRI.
Mm-hmm.
I would call it the lumped sales strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way to defeat it is to say, sir, would you buy a hammer when you need a screwdriver?
Obviously not. Right.
And it's that simple.
Yeah.
Would you buy a hammer when you need a screwdriver?
Where would you buy a 386 computer today? My first dialer was 386 computers, believe it or not. That was how early on it was. You couldn't even find it. It became obsolete because, like you were saying, you couldn't get parts for it any longer to replace them.
But yet, you have salesmen over here.
Yeah.
We do get objections, and it's very important to cover in this room.
That what?
We do get objections.
Yeah.
It is very important
Yeah.
to cover.
I want them. Tell me what the objections are that you run into. Now think about it. The presentation may not have been exactly the way you've done it before, and you may not have covered some things, there might have been things left out. But what are the objections now that you run into that you think that might not have been there if you were doing it this way? I really want the objections that are the true objections of the purchaser. What would those be?
If you want to hear it.
I know there was one. Did you have one? An objection that you're running into? No? Okay, go ahead. What's the
Let's
objection?
put up two salesmen. One is selling the recumbent.
Yeah.
The other one is selling the upright. They will hear the objections.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Give me the objections. I'll handle them.
Or you're going to handle it?
I'll handle the objections, sure. I'll put them down and we'll go through them one by one. What are the objections?
The customer will say that your technology is an open MRI. Open MRI, we don't want to read because thousands were sold and the image quality is poor. The open MRI. What's your answer?
Was it a Fonar open MRI?
No.
It wasn't a Fonar MRI. See, that's the distinction, Mr. Investor, that we really have to make here. Everybody else is following the leader. We are the leader. That's the bottom line. Now, if you want to get on with what we can prove to you as the best, great.
We have a better explanation.
Okay.
The other opens MRI are 0.2, 0.23,
Yeah.
0.35, but it's a sandwich. You lay down, you still see the magnet in your face. Ours is an MRI that is truly open. There is nothing in front of you, and you watch TV. Okay. Why have we done this? One should ask this question. Okay. Because our president, after meeting, is the inventor of the MRI. He asked our engineers in the year 2001 to develop an MRI of the 21st century that eliminates the problem of the existing supercon MRIs. What was that? The tunnel, the noise, okay? The claustrophobic problem, the use of helium and cryogen. Why? Because it only took not a bean counter, but a scientist to see the complexity and what's available now in the technology. He had the dream in 1972 when he designed the patent. Patient was standing. And now that the technology became available on the market and we developed this technology, the whole industry was doing a propaganda saying higher Tesla is better. And look what happened. Siemens developed a 1 Tesla system at a lower cost with the same image quality. So everybody in the MRI business developed a 1 Tesla. They didn't develop a 4 Tesla. Okay?
Yeah.
And then when they came to see the Fonar, upright MRI,